Alright, hello and what is up everyone? Welcome back to another video. This is part 8 of the How to Beat Team Liquid at TI7 series. Again, if you guys are new to this, I am doing a replay analysis for every single game that Team Liquid played at TI7 throughout the group stages and the main stage. I think this is a game from day 2 of the group stage. It is game 2 between Team Liquid and Infamous. And we're far enough in the series that if you have been following along, you know what's up, so let's just get right into the draft analysis. So it looks like Team Liquid start off with the Earthshaker Lich. Again, Earthshaker most likely played by GH as they've been doing. Infamous ban out IO Coddle, no big surprise there. The top 2 bans against Team Liquid at TI7. As for Liquid's ban, they definitely have done some research against Infamous. Tomato, big fan of the Viper. They take it out in the first round along with the Night Stalker, a Peruvian classic, I would have to say. Infamous classic. They really like to pick an aggressive offlane combination. A lot of times it would be like Night Stalker +1. In this game, it seems like they'll start off with Legion Commander Silencer. I believe something they did in the last draft as well. I know they had those 2 heroes for sure in the last draft. I think. I don't remember. It was a while ago before I did this analysis, so just check. Yep. Legion Commander Silencer. Again, Infamous in the last game went for like a really standard strategy that I would argue is good in a lot of scenarios, but not against how Liquid play. Just Liquid play too fast for the draft to ever get online, and if they're constantly forced into fights, you see this Legion Commander end up being useless. Tomato, Puck is a hero that can take these constant fights, so he ended up doing fine in this game, but honestly the rest of his team not so much. I mean, Legion Commander and Sand King are heroes that can take fights, but not the way that Liquid took them. And then when the game slowed down to the point where Lone Druid was able to free farm, the game was over from there. But in this game, we're going to see, I want to say, a more standard draft coming out from Team Liquid, because anything is possible for them still. They can pull out a surprise Huskar or a Broodmother or something like that. But I believe they go with a Lycan from a Atomo Man, I think.
Dire team pick.
And do Infamous go for... Nope. They're going to go with the Clockwork hero counter to the Earthshaker. Pretty much, if it's roaming Clock versus roaming Earthshaker, Clockwork can pretty much play anywhere, while Earthshaker really has to avoid Clockwork. If he ever gets caught by
You really gotta pick a hero.
the Clockwork in the early game, I mean, there's not much he can do. He can't even cast Fissure.
Radiant team pick.
So there's third pick Lycan coming out for Team Liquid. Look at the second phase bans here. Invoker taken out for Infamous. They're afraid of that Miracle Invoker, but they're also afraid of the fast tempo hero Pugna
Oh man,
potentially
there's
being
only
picked
10
up by a
seconds left to
Liquid.
pick a hero. You better pick your hero.
Their heroes aren't necessarily bad against Pugna, except for Legion Commander, I would say.
Dire team
Because
pick.
you could always decrypt the duel, which is super annoying. And yeah, if they're going to plan to pick up the Troll, the Pugna ban makes a lot of sense here now. Just looking at Team Liquid's ban, they take out Tomato's Puck and Sand King. Definitely gave them a little bit of trouble in the last game.
10 seconds to pick your hero, you moron.
So I'm assuming it's going to
better pick your
be
hero. 5 seconds.
Mind Control's hero next here. Nature's Prophet is still an option. It's not the greatest against a Troll Warlord. I actually think they'll go with something else here. Let's see. Venomancer may be a possibility. They want some type of Force Staff builder, I think, for him, actually. Having an early Force Staff is going to be huge against this Clockwork. Big against Troll Warlord as well. I mean, he has a lot of trouble getting kited. And oh, it's actually just going to be a hero to tank up. So Tidehunter, 4th pick for Team Liquid. I can see the Tidehunter in the lane. And in addition, he could frontline for them. And the way they want to approach these fights pretty much is a Ice Armor Tidehunter.
You really gotta pick a hero. You got
I think
10
this
seconds
hero
left.
he's picked for the Ravage, most likely, right? Because, I mean, it's a huge team fight ability. But I think what Tidehunter could also bring to the table, and I've even seen it picked up a little bit in the recent King's Cup, is he allows you this timing where you can run down lanes uncontested, because at some point the enemy team won't be prepared to fight into Ravage, so he gets that Ravage up. He gets super tanky, like 3 points into the Kraken Shell, and in this game they'll have the Ice Armor as well. He just takes towers. You can pretty much secure his team to take all the tier 1s with that timing. About level 10 Tide with Ravage. Doesn't even really need any items. Most likely he'll go for like Mech Rush, I think. Just going for the buckler first. He might go for like buckler, rotate it back into either a force staff or blink, just for the extra mobility, and again to deal with that clockwork. But then I see him just get mech, run down the lanes, take the tier 2s, secure objectives. Not really using the Ravage aggressively in a sense where you're looking to Ravage the gank, but you're using the Ravage as a mechanism to secure yourself towers. And if the time comes to actually take that fight where the enemy comes to them, he'll have that Ravage to use and potentially win the team fight with it. I think it's a really good hero in this scenario with the Lycan and the Lich, because Lich already wins you the lanes pretty much, or gives you an experience advantage. So with that, they can just get to this timing where they're literally just going to run down Infamous towers, and Infamous will feel like they can do absolutely nothing about it. And that is a huge advantage to have when you have a hero like Lycan. In addition, Lich can secure the Lycan's lane where he does have a problem in the laning stage, and there is actually heroes from Infamous to contest him. Legion Commander +1 will definitely give Lycan a hard time, and having that Lich to help him out will be a big deal. But I think that they'll have to slow down the tide, because now at this point Infamous have to choose, because they can choose to shut down the Lycan and give him a hard time, but then Tidehunter will have a free lane. So what if they shut down the Lycan, but they're not going to stop him from getting experience because he'll have a Lich in his lane? So maybe he's not farming the best, but he'll be able to get experience. He'll even probably just play super safe and forgo CS if it means taking too much harass. He just wants to avoid death at all costs. He'll get his experience, and he'll catch up later in the jungle and with the tower gold that he gets from taking the towers along with his Tidehunter. So at this point, I think the way Infamous really want to approach this lane is they need to slow down the Tide's timing. I would actually like to see them commit 3 heroes to shut down the Tide as hard as possible. I don't think the Lycan matters that much, because he's going to have a game regardless if this Tide gets online. So they need to make sure that Tide doesn't get online, because the later he does get that Ravage and that level 3 points, or I think 2 points in Kraken Shell is even enough without Lich Armor helping out. They need to make sure he doesn't get to that point, and if he does get to that point, it's as late as possible. I mean, I guess they can't stop him from getting to that point. He'll find it some way in the jungle or elsewhere, but they want it to come as late as possible, pretty much. And the Queen of Pain picked up here for Miracle in the mid lane. It's just a safe hero to pick up and secure the laning stage.
Get up on in there and choose that
She
hero.
doesn't lose many mid matchups, and they already banned like the Viper, a hero that could match up against pretty well against the Queen of Pain. And so it's just a safe hero for Miracle, has mobility as well, and gives them a little bit of extra damage that they're kind of lacking. They have a bunch of stuns in the Earthshaker and Tidehunter. Good team fight, but they just need that nuke damage, and Queen of Pain will fulfill that role. And so Infamous will pick Tomato, the mid Mirana. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, she can match up against Queen of Pain, that's one thing. And the way Infamous likes to play and the way Tomato likes to play is he wants to win his mid matchup. And it's no big surprise there that they pick a somewhat favorable matchup for Tomato here, so that he can try to outplay Miracle. But again, I don't think any of that matters. I mean, of course, the mid lane still matters, but having Tomato like win the lane by like small margins or whatever, it's not going to make that much of a difference. Again, this Tidehunter timing is extremely important for Liquid, and Infamous really need to watch out for it. And I say, if I can watch the laning stage, and I could already tell how the lane will go, or how the game will go, depending on how the laning stage looks. And I think it has to look like the Tidehunter is having the hardest game of his life for Infamous to win this game. And that might not even be possible because let's say they do commit a lot to shut down the Tide, they can just put the Lich in the lane because, like, of course, Lycan won't need the help against a solo Legion. Against a Legion dual lane, he'll need the help. So even
What
if
is he doing anything? They're just
Infamous
standing
tried
around.
to shut down the
Relax,
Tide
buddy.
Hunter, Liquid do have counterplay to it with this Lich pickup. So this is a huge Lich game for Kuroki. And that sounds weird, but he has a huge role in this early game for winning Liquid the first 20 minutes of the game, I would say. And if they can win that first 20 minutes and scale that into the late game or mid to late game where they can close out the game, I mean, it'll literally win them the game. So as the game starts out here, let's just open up the network graph. Let's close this thing and this, so we're good. Did they fix it? Oh, it actually moves up the thing and doesn't cover anymore. Was it always like that? I feel like it wasn't. When was this added?
The battle's about to start. Relax, Morty. Relax.
Oh, that's
Come here.
cool.
Come here, buddy.
Something I just noticed.
Settle in.
We're getting
Settle in
some
with me.
circles drawn. Who is this? That's Infamous. They're scribbling on the map. They're drawing penises. Alright, so Matama Man will be sent to the safe lane. No big surprise there. Now, let's see how this game will play out. It seems like they will look to go for an aggressive dual lane, at least at the start. Matthew probably just looking to block the creeps, but he'll probably the lane for a bit. He did start with a cog, so no battery assault running people down. Mind control will actually just receive help right at the bat with GH blocking his lane for him. So you can already tell that Liquid definitely committing resources here to help out mind control, make sure he has the best game possible. He's also prepared to go into Iron Talon if he gets super tri lane. That's not going to be the case as Clockwork will start top. Looks like Lich did eat the creep mid to give Miracle a good start, and he's going to head top and help out Matama Man again. Liquid's way that they're going to win this game is get this Tide online and run down the lanes with him. So we'll look out for that. And the way Infamous matchup against Liquid here is they need to make sure that all their lanes go well. They can't really afford to lose one lane too hard, because that's just going to exasperate the situation with this Tide taking out their map control, because it's a huge thing. I've noticed this pattern with Liquid where they really want to keep their towers alive, be able to defend their towers. They have the Lich to do that with the ice armor, and the Queen of Pain, she's fairly good at defending towers as well, provides a lot of nuke damage, and if enemies are grouping up trying to hit the tower and things like that, she'll be able to nuke the wave down, nuke them down with the sonic wave, and secure the defense. But their ability to take tower is almost free this game, which is huge, I would say. And we're seeing GH do the typical dual mid to model. Probably not happy about this, and he did start with the boots, triple clarity, I believe, and mind control. Off to a pretty decent start with the block that GH provided him. He's gonna get a lot of experience under tower. He has to really make sure he doesn't die here. That's just the thing. Even went for a point in Gush there. Nice. Secured him last hit. Will also help him out actually if he gets dove. He can just gush the troll and hope he just find what happened. Go back. Alright, GH making the plays there. I mean, this is a really nice Fissure. We'll go back and watch it. Get to see it here. Get to see replay bugs. He almost got the courier there as well. Fissure forced the leap. And blink kill.
Ooh, first blood.
For the dead.
GH with the plays there. Really good on him for recognizing that kill attempt. And that's what happens when you get double wave. It's not a fun time. I like that efficiency from Tomato. Misses the creep. That's sad. Alright. I would say mind control is off to a really good start. Already building into Iron Talent as well, just to secure this lane. I think he'll still lane with Iron Talent. It just helps him secure last hits. He can Iron Talent a creep and hit it right away. But it is also preparing him for the jungle, because Matoma Man does need help, even against Legion solo, and they don't want to have to put GH in the safe lane. So they don't want Lich to go bottom at all at this point. They just want Kuroki to stay up here and get as much experience as he can. So as a result, there's preparing mind control for the worst in case Clockwork rotate down bottom, and he'll go for that Iron Talon in the mid lane. GH. Now this is pretty much worst case scenario for Infamous actually. So they've lost mid to this dual lane, and they haven't succeeded in shutting down the Lycan at all. I mean, they're playing against Lich at this point, so it's going to be incredibly difficult. Then Clockwork is wasting his time up here. This is game losing pretty much. Going up here, they're not doing anything. I mean, even if they do shut down Lycan at this point, it's pretty much for nothing. Now Miracle is super far ahead, and this is going to be a 20-minute run for Liquid. For sure, I can already tell. And at this point, yeah, Mind Control can't even afford to jungle a little bit as the lane is getting too dangerous. Again, they don't want to remove Lich from the safe lane because at that point the Lycan will be able to be contested. So they're making a really smart play here, having Mind Control go in the jungle. He's already online at this point. He's got enough levels at the lane that he can jungle pretty comfortably without taking too much damage. And you can see he can just get his levels up. And they're not going to be able to stop him from getting his levels now. And just pick up the bounty runes as well. And Troll Warlord will be free farm, but again, that doesn't matter. They're just gonna run down lanes, and it doesn't matter if there's a free farm Troll or not. I mean, Troll is strong in multiple ways. If he does have the space to take the safe farm, he can farm very fast through the jungle, and then he can transition that into pushing towers by himself really quickly. But that's not gonna happen as Liquid literally run down the lanes. Miracle is owning now with the 2 kills that he got from mid. Found a haste rune. Now he's gonna get a couple more kills top here. So the top lane has entirely fallen apart.
Oh man, this guy's dominating.
It's double kill from Miracle. Tomato is in the jungle now. All the lanes fell apart for Infamous. Even more so than I expected them to. I knew that they were going to at least lose 2 lanes, but not as hard as they did at this point. And now they actually somehow messed up the creep equilibrium really bad here. I don't know what happened there, but Mind Control got like a triple wave or something in this tower. What happened?
This
I have to see it.
Oh jeez, it's a killing spree. Under attack.
So that's 1 wave. What? Soon before that?
go for me.
He pulls through, but this creep camp was already damaged, so then it doubled up the wave. And then Troll tanked the next wave, that's a double wave, and then it became a triple wave as the next wave came through. Alright, that's really bad. Let's go back to the future here.
Oh, Rick, he's dominating now. He's dominating.
And I would say this is GG. Well, not really GG, but I mean, that such a disadvantage now. Now the Tidehunter is level 5. He has shrines, so he doesn't even care about all the damage that he's taken. Has his ancients stacked up as well. He can even just go back into the jungle here. Doesn't even have to bother going to the lane. And he has a ward to cover him with any Clockwork rotations coming in from this angle. Miracle is just doing some free farming mid. As Tomato has rotated into the jungle. He's level 4 at this point. Clockwork finally rotated again to contest Mind Control, but I would say this is much too late, as he's actually just gonna die.
Mega kill. He just mega kills.
This is really well played from Liquid. I mean, Infamous definitely gave them a lot here. Mind Control. Trying to stack the Ancients. He's gonna get it. Let's watch. No. It's annoying, I'd say. But anyway, we can skip through this. I can already tell how this game's gonna play out, honestly. So, top lane's gonna get even worse for the Legion Commander, as she's just gonna lose more and more range creeps, and they're gonna get more and more of an advantage. Croaky even just going for the 2-1-2 for maximum aggression. Miracle is getting more kills, but that's huge though. 680 gold. Rotation from Matthew, getting the dive on their tower. Mind Control doing his thing at this point. He's actually just gonna full-time jungle, so they just needs to be efficient. And can still try to lane, but he'll get more farm in the jungle because he can sit in lane for experience, but he will actually be able to last hit comfortably with the silencer and troll here. So they're actually gonna leave GH in the bottom lane to get the experience. Unfortunately, rotation coming in from the Clockwork will result in a kill. There's the man rotation, and this will be a tower down as well. Assuming. Oh no, Matthew gets away, but here they go, running down the towers. They don't care.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And again, Liquid want to keep this tower alive, ideally, so they leave GH top to make sure that doesn't take too much damage from the leading commander. This tower is theirs for free. They can't fight into Ravage at this point, especially with Tomato so far behind. As a result, they don't even need to keep Miracle down there. They can just have him leave with just these 3 heroes. They can take the tower. The tower is already secured, so then Mind Control will TP top to make sure they don't lose top. Really important. GH runs into Cell. We're going to even slow that back down the replay because this is something that is definitely interesting to watch. So at this point, they can send Matoma Man pushing down this bottom lane, and then you get TP top, and they can take this top tower. They ended up catching a Cell there, and he ended up going down. Now, look how aggressive Mind Control is able to play. He's just going to dive the tower here. Still, it's a Ravage. Will not use it, by the way. He wants to keep this Ravage online for as long as possible so they can secure all the tier 1s with it. I actually don't see him use the Ravage at all. Like, he's not going to use it. Even as I say that, it's worth it for a troll kill, I guess. And they're also feeling super far ahead at this point, and the troll dying like that will definitely set him back. Especially because they're pretty sure they realize he TP'd in. Anyway. That means that they're not going to be able to get the towers though. So, was it worth it? Just because they're this far ahead, I'd say it was. If the game was more even, I think he doesn't Ravage there at that point, does it? Actually, I guess it's always worth it to shut down the troll because he's their main carrier, and Tomato's already shut down, so they didn't really care about him. Like, they wouldn't have done that for Tomato, I don't think, but for the troll. What's the net worth like? Let's check it out. Troll's at, yeah, he's definitely ahead. Significantly. Tomato has more levels on him. I think he ought to, I don't know what happened. How did he get so many levels? I actually don't know. He doesn't have any assists or anything. That's weird. Anyway, with the Ravage down, Liquid's just gonna chill for a bit. Keep in mind the game is still really early in. Still really early in. And you can see even without the Ravage, Mind Control is able to play really aggressively just because of how tanky he is. Miracle gets another haste rune, gets a solo kill, and he's creating space on the map. And even without Ravage, with the 10-minute catapult, they still run down the mid tower and take it. Look at how much pressure they're putting into Infamous, how fast they're able to play this huge frontliner, Tide. I mean, again, he only has just 2 points in Kraken Shawl, and he's almost unkillable. They don't even have the ice armor yet. Kuroki is realizing their advantage, and ice armor is nice and all, that they can pop it on the Tide Hunter, but they realize he's tanky enough, and he's just going to go for the maximum damage output so they can get as much as they can out of this early game. We're going to just pull the mid creep waves to the bottom lane and farm it up. This is really efficient play. I like that coming out from Matoma Man. Sick play there. And again, all goes back to the laning stage and the draft for Infamous. They needed to shut down the Tide Hunter in a way that he would be like scrounging for levels at this point, or like force him to directly jungle, because then that's busted slower, and then they could run in the Clockwork and mess with him. I think they give the Lycan the free farm. I mean, it's annoying to allow them to do that, but they have to. That's also going to bone their leading commander, though. It's just the power of Lich, and this is the effective usage of Lich, I would say. And with the Tide Hunter now, they're running down tier 2s even. Finally, top tower will go, but they're looking to go high ground now. I mean, honestly, I can see them take a Rax here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They still got the Necro book on about a quarter duration. Control Warlord ain't ready to fight yet. No one's ready to fight really. Don't even have global silence. They got Blink Duel though. That is something. Tekka blinks in there. They got Ravage. Keep that in mind. I think on Mind Control will go for a 4-staff rush. And do they continue for this? I honestly still think they can. Infamous going for the wraparound play. This is the only chance if they get a good initiation on someone in the back lines. And alright, there's GH. Oh, hold on. They're drawing to go for other lanes, as mid lane's already pushed in. Top lane is going to be in the favor of Infamous, because they just took that tower top. Look at where they're keeping Infamous right now. Like, the troll can't even leave the base, and this is the power of taking these early towers. They can just posture themselves in position where Troll Warlord literally cannot farm, and they see all of Infamous as well, so they placed his high ground ward. So now no one from Infamous can do anything. They can only gear up to try to take a fight. The duel comes out. They will get the kill there onto GH. Now the global silence doesn't affect Lycan at all. He's running at max move speed. They get the turnaround kill. It's a 1-for-1 trade off laner for support. Here's the dust. And this is especially huge. They captured the opponent in the stage. And survives with 50 HP. And that's their only play. They get the Earthshaker, and that's it. They still have Ravage. Now they can just go Shrine. Shrine is available bottom. And that is... Oh, Tomato going in to try to kill Matama, man. And he's going to deep. Now the Ravage is going to be committed, as he can catch 2 cores with it. Fortunately, they don't manage to catch Benjaz. Alright, Queen Tekka is ready to go in for another duel. Can he, go to busy mode? Stop messing with me, please. Duel doesn't get anybody. Look how tanky my control is. That's level 1 ice armor, I believe. They will get the kill there into GH again, so Infamous fighting. Yeah, that's all they can do right now, actually. If you look at their options, literally all they can do is fight and hope for the best. Which is... it's not fun, because Liquid could totally opt out on these fights. They can just avoid them if they really wanted to. But they're feeling strong, they're feeling confident. They got Necro 3 almost onto Matama Man. Sean is always theirs for the taking as well, as long as they can maintain control of that area. And King Tekka has done a good job keeping his team in the game. Some nice initiations with his duel. Didn't get the kill over there, but did get the kill eventually onto GH with overwhelming odds. You can say he's like the strongest hero on their team right now, even though he's only second in net worth. Troll Warlord is on his way to be kited, as 4-staff is about to be complete onto Mind Control very soon. And now I think Liquid will slow down the game a little bit to get this Blink Dagger onto GH. He has all this area to farm, and just look at where Infamous has to be and look at where Liquid can play. They're farming a lot more on the map right now. So Necro 3 is on its way. Miracle has Yules and Veil. That's huge. GH just needs a little bit more time to finish his Blink. And I think that's it. They don't see Infamous on the map right now, so they're a bit wary of going to this top lane actually, as they see Tomato push out really deep. He is in fact alone, but Liquid don't know that right now. And they'll suspect it now with Troll showing me, but he actually isn't alone, as his team is smoked up, so they did make the right read on that. Now they're gonna send GH up here. I think he wants to bait. Here comes a duel. I actually don't know what that was, but that was the best initiation hope for on Infamous. It was a sick play actually. Got a simultaneous initiation there onto Lich and Earthshaker. It's only 2 supports though, and they did use global silence for this. And uh-oh, Tomato is completely out of mana. Matthew's stuck in the trees. Tomato will go down here. Gets a leap off, but they follow him. Cutting the trees. Doesn't have mana for TP. Hey, oh. No, they know, they know.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, he actually got enough mana to TP, and he couldn't get out in time. GG. That was really good. You want to find him in that pocket there. Matthew's still hiding in the trees. He doesn't have a TP scroll. It's kind of stuck, and they most likely will take the tier 1 here. They still have Ravage online. Force Staff is out. And now they're going to go for Roshan first. This tier 1 is not that important, and there's even a DD rune, so I'm going to go straight for that. Oh, they found Matthew. He tried to make his great escape, but couldn't get out. And he will go down, and now that's going to be pretty much a free Roshan. There's no Global Silence on cooldown, and without that, there's really not much of a chance to fight in the Rosh Pit here, especially with Ravage online. So, first Roshan going to Team Liquid, and I think Infamous, and they've done a good job of recovering, so I feel like if their laning stage was better, they've definitely stood a better chance in this game, honestly. They executed these team fights really well, actually. Initiating on the right heroes, slowed down GH significantly. In this game, they realized that he's the problem. Usually got the initiation onto him. He's their main stunner. Control Warlord getting his farm up now, was able to push out the bottom lane. Can't pressure the tier 1 though, and they are able to spread themselves a little bit more on the map as they realized Liquid was going for the rush. And see, Miracle has come up the top lane here. He did get the Aegis as well as bottle up a DD rune. They didn't actually use the DD to kill Roshan there, didn't need it. Now the Blink Dagger will be up into Cheech, and this is Liquid's timing. They got the Force Staff, they got the Blink onto their Earthshaker, got the Necro 3, and got a super fat Queen of Pain, who is going for Lincoln Sphere. Right? That will help her against the duel. Now they're looking to run down lanes at this point. They can take mid, they can take top. All the lanes really pushing in their favor, except for the bottom lane. And they're going to start off with Smoke first, see who they can catch, and they find a Silencer who just wanted to get some experience. He is dead. King Tekka got the Blink Dagger lane now. He's going in. He wants to target here. Right into a Echo. He's gonna die immediately. Oh, we'll get the kill there on Queen of Pain before going down though. That's the Aegis popped. But Lycan's already at it, hitting the tier 3. Tier 2 has been destroyed as well. And that was the Ravage usage there, winning the fight, and they're gonna take a tier 3. Maybe a Rats out of it. Still got Chase in the back line to cover them against Control Warlord. If he ever goes in there, he actually takes a lot of damage trying to kill that Necro Book. But that's tier 3 down. I think they'll back off though. They've expended a lot of their load and they can just chill. If they lose a fight here at Infamous as these heroes are respawning, it would be definitely a big loss, as that comeback gold will be huge. So they're just going to back off, play it safe now, and they can just chill, wait for their cooldowns. And do Infamous have potential to make a play? I do think they do, as they have Global Silence now and they have Hookshot. This has to go perfect for them. They have to get a good initiation and like take out Liquid. But I mean, if Liquid really want to play this safe, they can literally hide. They just like sit in their base or something and wait for their cooldowns. They don't have to rush this at all. Notice they're not splitting up. They're playing it super safe. They know that this is Infamous's chance. If Infamous want to come back right now, they will group up and try to take for a fight. Look for a fight, I mean.
Oh boy, Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
Feeling confident going back in though, as they see the Troll Warlord revealing himself and they're getting their cooldowns. They have the Shapeshift, they don't have Ravage, but they do have Chain Frost. Just because of how further ahead they are, I don't think they need all their abilities. So, as long as they don't put themselves in a bad position where they get caught like farming by themselves, that would be worst case scenario. But if they're still taking the fight 5v5, they still definitely can get ahead, and they're gonna find King Tekka farming the Ancients, and this definitely caught Infamous by surprise. And instead of getting caught out, they catch someone out alone. So that's ideal scenario. They definitely can still win the fight like that. If it's 5v5 and they get the jump, definitely will come ahead. And that was a really sick play there from Liquid. I don't think Infamous. No, first of all, they were looking for a gank. They couldn't find anyone. No one from Liquid showed, and then Liquid smoked got the return pick off there. That was a huge play. It's gonna open up the racks as their spells are cooling down. Now they have Ravage again. And that was really good usage for their time. They hid for a bit, waited for Infamous to show, smoked themselves, got a pick off, and now their cooldowns are up again and they're going for the mid racks. Sick play there from Liquid, and they come with Echo. Hits right there onto Tomato. Chain Frost comes through, he gets the leap away. And there's the Ravage online. He wasn't expecting that one. Duel onto Tide, but it's almost too late. They're giving up a good fight here. And there'll be a 2-for-1 trade so far with Miracle. It's completely out of mana. They might actually defend their racks here. That's huge. Infamous. Their execution is on point, but it just unfortunately this game just got taken away from them in the laning stage, in my opinion. It didn't shut down the Tide early on, and again, Liquid was able to do it as I said they would. It was just run down the lane, take all the towers away, and then once that happens, taking these towers away from your opponents, like taking this tier 1, and then like tier 2, it shuts down your ability to farm so much, and it makes it so that your only option is to take fights. And against a Tide Hunter, you can't really comfortably do that. I mean, you don't ideally want to take a fight if the enemy is 5-manning. So if you can't split push, you can't take fights, and they didn't have the hero split push. They only had the Mirana who can really split push at all. Even then, Tomato was shut down super hard in the lane. So I feel like if Tomato went more even in his laning stage, then they shut down the Tide. I mean, Infamous had a real chance of winning this game. The way they're executing these fights, but just unfortunately, Liquid showing that they are the best laning stage team. Definitely transition a really great laning stage into a good mid game, and now they're about 10,000 net worth ahead. It's super hard for Infamous to play this game. They still need to BKB onto Benjaz and Quinteca really bad, but they're nowhere near it. They're not giving anything away to Infamous. I think that's like if they like lost that fight there or got picked off or something while their ultimates are in cooldown, Infamous definitely could make a comeback. They're realizing where they can lose and they're playing it safe, but at the same time they're not just playing it super safe as you saw there. They're able to realize that Infamous would split up eventually once they failed the smoke gank, and that was like a super next level play, I would say, for Liquid there to go for that counter smoke.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
While their ultimates were still in cooldown. I mean, that definitely caught Infamous off guard. Benjaz, but pushing. I think he'll get his BKB before the next team fight. Roshan is spawning not really soon. This game is really fast, so first Roshan was taken about 5 minutes ago. 6 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago. So that's going to be all tier 2 towers gone. They also took both the shrines, and this is where you can't split push as a troll. Link Dagger, Echo, Initiation, Troll Warlord goes down. Now he's not going to have his BKB. It's real sad. But at the same time, King Tekka found the duel there onto Tummelman, but he's too tanky. Didn't manage to find the kill. And King Tekka's actually going to die. Can he get him? The wolf, the heal. He dies. And the Tummelman still does go down. That's something for Infamous. That's a 2-for-2 trade. I mean,
brutal, savage, ranked.
Double kill.
2 for 3 as Miracle comes in. He's looking for more blood here. But Matthew and Tomato have both escaped the Moonlight Shadow. And Mind Control not even bothering with the mech. Realize they don't really need it at this point. Just going for the mobility Force Staff and Blink Dagger. Their pseudo mech is pretty much like in How. So anyway, at this point, there's still 11,000 advantage ahead. If Liquid can get the next rush, the game is pretty much over. It really takes some really good high ground defense for Infamous to win this, because again, their team fight is not even that good. They only have the duel and the clockwork to work with, and that's their only forms of disable really. And then from there, it's just relying on Benjaz and hoping he doesn't get kited, which he will. If he doesn't have a BKB, he'll just get Ravage and everyone will run away. He has to deal against Lycan, who's running at max move speed, which is normally Troll and Lycan. The Troll doesn't really care that much, because I'm sure you won't be able to kill the Lycan if the Lycan runs, but Lycan will have a hard time manning up against a Troll Warlord. But in this type of game, it is Miracle getting a lot done as well. And I mean, if Troll gets on top of the Queen, I mean, he definitely can kill her, but at this point, Miracle is so far ahead. He's level 20 almost. And Roshan actually will have really early timer. This will be favoring Liquid actually. And Mind Control actually just going into the Medallion. It's going to be really good in this scenario to get that Rosh. And in addition, dealing with Troll Warlord at mischance. Super annoying for him. They have 4 staffs, they have Solar Crest coming out soon, and I'm surprised Earthshaker is not going for a Force as well. Lich, I guess 1 Force is just enough for them, actually. Lich just going for the Atos, actually. Infamous has to hide in their base, cannot leave it. King Tekka is the only one able to split push, and this is the type of game where Infamous has to play. Like, they could kind of split push, but with like ultimate fear for their life for a little bit. And what is this? They got some hello. I think that's what he typed. Definitely tilted or something. Pretty sure. Benjaz not having the greatest game. He hasn't died too much, but he hasn't killed anyone either. It's super hard for him to find these kills, especially with the Lich armor almost maxed out now. And soon to be Atos complete. Miracle, level 20 with a Lincoln Sphere. And there it goes. Liquid goes for the mid lane. Again, I think in this scenario, Liquid can just hope to execute this, and they're actually going to play aggressively with the Ravage and GG. Alright. No buyback. I think they know the Troll doesn't have buyback either, because I'm assuming they clicked his items and they saw that he was saving up for that BKB. Tomato will get buyback midway through, but that's 2 racks already gone. That's 2 racks too late. 29 minutes in. I think Infamous, they definitely played to, I won't say play to win, but they definitely played this game to the best of their ability. But this is one of those games where, I mean, it feels like it doesn't matter what they do. They can play their hearts out. The day they'll still lose. That's what happens. Clockwork comes in with a hook shot. That's Mega Creeps soon. And they're gonna take one last fight for the heck of it. But it's pretty much GG. Move on to the Earthshaker. And they're getting some kills. Miracle's gonna die, but he has the Aegis. We don't have the Ravage anymore. Matthew wants to die back on the head. Oh, deny from Benjaz. I'm telling you, they're still playing. They're executing. But does it matter? I don't think it does. And here's GH, finds an initiation there onto Benjaz. Still doesn't have his BKB. Nice 2-man figure. Micro comes in and doesn't have Ravage. They kill Benjaz. They will. He's dead. Still not calling GG. They're playing it out to the end. And that's a full 5-man wipe. That's GG. And are they going to call it now? Yeah, they're going to call it. And good game well played will be called. And this is going to be the end of this replay analysis. Episode 8 of How to Beat Team Liquid at TI7. There was not much to be learned from this replay, honestly. I feel like it wasn't really a straight up draft win, but it definitely was a draft semi-win into a laning stage win, which really secured the draft win. And from there was not much Infamous could do. I felt like they could execute these fights, play their hearts out, but it doesn't really matter what they do. Their timing windows were so small, and they didn't have the correct heroes to split push against Team Liquid. And if you didn't have that, there's nothing they could do, honestly, because with Liquid running down their lanes, if they didn't have the split pusher and didn't have the fight, which they didn't have either of those, so they didn't have the split push, they didn't have the fight, so their only option was to perform and execute to the best of their ability the fights and try to fight or try to split push without success either way, and they just ended up losing. So anyway, I'll see you all in the next one. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like down below. If you want to see more, I am doing every single game that Liquid played at TI, so make sure you subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'll also do other videos as well as a daily cast, which I can't do one today So I'm gonna record like a bunch of these videos, I think, right now. So I'll have them on the back burner in case I don't get the daily cast out, but I might be doing dual upload, who knows. Stay tuned for more content, and I'll see you all next time.